what happens when we're kind of in the meditation practice, as in we've become reasonably aware of the breath, reasonably aware of metta, but it doesn't seem to be going very deep. So yes, I mean, this happens in the metta bhavana. You call the person to mind, you can kind of keep them there, and you're saying the phrases, maybe well, maybe happy, but it all feels a little bit kind of dry, like there's not sort of much sort of juice in it. So what's happened in that situation? It's like the band of our awareness has become a bit narrow, and it's possible to meditate from a place where we're just kind of doing it sort of mentally. It's just kind of going on within our head, but it's not really touching the rest of our experience. And both of these are what we call integration meditation practices, meaning that they are designed to integrate us. It's not just mentally that they're doing that. In fact, predominantly they're doing that right throughout our whole psyche, through our whole being. So what we can pay attention to, if that's the case, is something that's called focus and breadth. So this idea of focus and breadth. So we're very sort of focused on a particular object, but it feels rather narrow, feels rather dry, feels rather sort of without any juice. We haven't taken in a wider sort of breadth of our being. And we are essentially doing it with our head. That's why that, in the metta bhavana, sort of doing the phrases only works so well, because you're saying those mental phrases, but if those mental phrases are not connecting to the rest of our being, it's like they're not sort of dropping into the rest of our being, it doesn't sort of stir much within us. So if that happens, one of the things that we can do is to just take our awareness out of the object of meditation and start to take in a greater breadth of our experience. So, I mean, the classic way of doing this is to go back to doing a body scan and getting in touch with the direct sensate experience in the body. Another thing to do is to take in what's going on with us on the feeling level. So the Buddhas, outlined these various different sort of levels or aspects of mindfulness that is useful to focus on. So, he said the body, feelings, motions, thoughts are all important to keep our attention on. So we can go back to the body and start entering into the body. We can also go, if it works for us, to go to that heart center, or go towards what our feelings are in this moment, and find out what's going on for us. Because if we don't, we will just stay in that sort of dryish band of meditation. And sometimes, the reason that we're going to that dry band is there's something unacknowledged in us that's below our conscious experience, that we're not sort of letting into the meditation.
There's some distraction. Can you just check?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. So, taking in more of our experience. So it's a bit like, you've gathered up something of yourself, because you can stay on the breath, but you've gathered up something of yourself because you can stay with the metta, or at least the person or the phrases, but the net's gone a bit narrow and you've only sort of scooped up this much of your being. So it's a bit like you need to drop the net again and scoop up a lot more of one's being by going to the body, by going to the level of feelings, And also thoughts, becoming aware of thoughts can be useful in that process as well. If there's something, that's trying to come into thought from the outside. Does that make some sense? Let's try and do a little exercise with this before we do the meditation. Just give this a kind of try out to see if we can get a sense of what it's like. The difference between that being in that sort of narrow band of our experience and being in a broader band of our experience. But this may or may not work. So, just thinking, without thinking about the meditation, we're just going to drop straight into it. So without doing a tune into our body or anything like that, we're just going to go straight onto the breath. So I suggest you do this by going to this area around here. The breath is usually most prominent. And just go there and hold your attention as much as you can upon that point. So we're only going to do this for a short period, so hopefully we won't be doing too much violence to ourselves. But with a kind of really strong-willed attention, just try and keep your attention in that one place in the body. And we'll just do that for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come out of that and have a little chance just to feedback about that exercise. So immediately just becoming aware of the sensations in the upper lip, the nostrils. And just trying to keep our attention on that point. Just doing this if we're in a reasonably integrated state at the moment, can work in terms of getting into the meditation. Just noticing how it feels to meditate in this way with more force and will, trying to keep attention very solidly in one place. You might notice doing it this way that the breath is somewhat different. Might mean the breath is shallower. Trying to keep the attention there unwaveringly. Notice that it may feel more like a mental exercise. And how we are used to meditating. So just letting go of that. Straight away feel like a relief to let it go of efforting in that way. Taking in more of the body. Taking in more of the sensations of the body. Sensations of the head and face. Like the torso. The arms, the legs. Coming down to the lower abdomen. Body to be relaxed. And tuning in with the feeling level. What is here? How we're feeling in this moment. If we're unsure what we're feeling, we can ask whether it's mad, sad, bad, or glad. Continuing to take in the body and the bodily sensations wherever they appear. feeling for sense of the body. Sense of being able to allow whatever is present to be there. One of the reasons for a narrow band of awareness is that we're not letting all of our experience be there. Whereas with an integrated awareness, we can freely allow all experience, all sensation, all feeling, just to be present. And then coming back again to the breath, in the same place where we started, the upper lip or the nose, air first felt coming into the body. And this time, doing it by staying some way with that overall bodily sense and with that feeling for openness. And noticing what way or ways the breath feels different, the experience feels different from the first part of the exercise. Okay, and just coming out of that. So, it's a chance to feed back anything about that exercise.
What have you noticed when I first breathed into my nose? I wasn't really aware of my body. It's like my whole attention was focused on the nostrils, but at the end doing it, even though I could feel it in the nostrils, I was very aware of my whole body at the same time as well. It was feel much more integrated in my whole body rather than just some tiny bits of it.
Yeah. And qualitatively, how did that feel? Or comfortable? Or
yeah, because it felt much more solid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
When we were focusing on the single point, I was very aware of that, but I also was very aware of what was going through my eyes and tension in the back of my neck.
Yeah.
I seemed to be occupying just this kind of space.
Yeah.
First thing I noticed when we came out of it, the body was I had to take a deep breath because it felt like I was lacking air.
Yeah.
So I guess I was breathing shallow with ears.
Yeah. I mean, that's a symptom of that. Yeah.
And then with getting back in the body, it became, it was really entered my attention. I was leaning back a bit, straightened up a bit.
Yeah.
And once I'd straightened up more, the tension in the back of my neck went.
Yeah.
sometimes I get a bliss in my chest. That appeared.
Yeah.
So from then on, I was really feeling it.
Once you stopped.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed myself doing that, and I could feel myself kind of going forward and like losing the posture.
I noticed as difficult is to feel the breath.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of frustration.
Yeah.
And I can focus, but not feeling it, I found it a bit frustrating.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I guess I need a stronger sensation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's true, isn't it? We can't pick up on the sensations sometimes in some part of the body.
Sorry?
Sometimes we can't pick up on a particular sensation in the body. You can do it with any sensation in the way within that exercise, but the reason why I'm doing it here is that there's definite correspondence, I think, between where you are in the body and where you are energetically. So the closer to the head one tends to be, the more likely the energy is going to sort of travel up there, which is fine if you are, as Lisa was suggesting, you've got that sort of full body experience and you can come to there. But if you haven't and you've sort of bypassed all of that, then this is going to feel differently.
Yeah, I could sense the energy went up in my head.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyone online? Any feedback about that exercise?
No, shaking my head.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's get into doing meditation now. But bearing that exercise in mind. So, in preparation for meditation, paying attention to our posture. Comfortable enough, stable enough, and alert enough from our posture to help with the meditation. And before even coming to our breath, coming into the body, starting with the body also helps us to become aware of our feeling states of mind. So just using whatever way works for you to come into the body and present in the body, present sensations of the body. experiencing the body as the body. So just in the exercise we did before, when we were focusing very much forcefully, willfully, we recognise that it was mostly the head that was present. The way that we can just mentally construct the physical body. Much more useful is to come into the body as the body. And tuning in again to what's here on the feeling level. Sorry. We can use that list of mad, sad, bad, glad. Testing each one of those broad categories of emotion to feel into what's going on with us. You can also take stock of the hindrances, if they're present. Remembering this energetic way of looking at the hindrances. So it's the energy, as it were, wanting to pull forward. Find ourselves thinking and imagining something that's not here, that we would like to be here to make this moment apparently better. This is the hindrance of craving or desire. If we're energetically pushing away, as it were, on the center, not wanting something to be here that is apparently here. Or perhaps the energy is sinking downwards, wanting to go into sleep, into unconsciousness. Or perhaps the energy is up in the body, lots of thoughts in the head, thoughts of what we've got to do next, anxiety thoughts, worry thoughts, restlessness. Is any of this going on? To return in the opposite direction to where the energy wants to go, bringing the attention back into the torso, into the heart area. Spread the net of our awareness wide, taking in a breath. This will help to bring more energy to focus, to the object of awareness. So bringing attention to the breath, sensations associated with the breathing, wherever we notice them in the body. And then I suggest just staying with whatever of those sensations is the most predominant. So it may be up around the nose, the upper lip, or it may be elsewhere, maybe in the abdomen, the chest. It feels right. So have a 15-minute period. Talking free meditation. So we'll have a 5-minute break. And then chance to come back and pick up the conversation, which is very useful if you can do it. Chance to share a meditation experience and learn from each other. So I encourage you to come back if you can.